Hey guys, mediocre cover band guitar guy. How we all doing? No intro today on the video, which sucks in one sense. Lucky for you, sucks for me. I just got this guitar back last night from my friend Cyril Drover, who did a setup, cleaned the guitar up, gave it all kinds of TLC and new guitar. She was in rough shape when I bought it over to him. So if you're looking to get a setup done, guys, look Cyril up on Facebook. That's Cyril Drover. Message him, work out the details. He will take your guitar and some of your money, and he will do a great job because this thing is perfect now. I played it all last night and it rips. And like I said, it was in hard shape. If you can't get a hold of Cyril, message me at craigparty694@gmail.com, and I will try to get Cyril in touch with you, or you in touch with Cyril. We'll make it happen. Even if you're not from St. John's or the Avalon Peninsula and you want to check him out and you're coming in, check him out. He does a great job. Like, he cleaned this thing. He did everything. He took the knobs off, cleaned it up, cleaned everything up. Did a great job. So today's topic, guys, Facebook Marketplace, and some of the problems I got with it right now, man. There's a lot of knockoffs going on, and I was under the impression before, if you bought a knockoff, you bought a knockoff. If you're okay with it, you're okay with it. But then I started thinking about it recently, and what if you're one of these guys who buys a knockoff for, a price appropriate cost for its materials and its quality, build quality, then that's up to you. But what if you're that guy who buys it at $300, which we had a gentleman doing here before Christmas in St. John's. He was selling Telecaster style and Les Paul style guitars for $300. He had included in his description that they were replicas, which was nice. But what about the guy who buys them? Is he going to tell everybody it's a replica? Maybe not. Maybe he's going to sell this to a kid who's slinging coffees or burgers, make a minimum wage. Maybe he's going to sell it to them, and they're going to get a really shitty guitar. Another problem some guys had with it was you shouldn't be so vain or petty that you don't want to have, Squire or Epiphone written on your headstocks or whatever. To me, it was never about that. It was about getting ripped off. But, each is his own. If that's what you think, that's what you think. You're allowed to. But yeah, you might get guys who are going to sell these things as authentic guitars and rip people off. It's a big problem. You need to knock it off. I think it's wrong. I think you need to educate yourself on what's going on. We had a huge seizure of, knockoff guitars coming through Canada just before Christmas as well. A bunch of fake Les Pauls and Gibsons and shit. So these are going out and people are buying them thinking that they're getting a legitimate great guitar, and then they get it and the quality is just not there. And I get it. It's the price that, you think you're getting something, and sometimes that old saying, if it's too good to be true, then it's too good to be true. It's like buying a Fender thin line 72 custom for $27 online. That's not real. Okay, it doesn't happen. So you need to knock that off. But here's a question: what about the tele builds that people are doing? And I don't mean the guys that put their own company's names on them, the luthier guys. You got Fizzman, you got O'Reilly's guitars. You should check O'Reilly's out too. Fizzman, you can check them out. And look at their guitars, and they put their company names on the headstocks. They're not putting Fender watermarks on there. But what about the guys that are putting a Warmoth neck on a certain type of body, and then putting a Fender logo on there? They call it a tele build or a strap build, or my latest build. Isn't that a replica? But yet they're charging $1,000 for it. Put your own name on it or leave it blank. That would be my theory. But who am I? Right? I'm usually wrong according to the Facebooks. So that's number one. Number two is, where are people getting their prices for guitars? Holy shit. This is the thing I don't understand. This guitar right here. First went on Marketplace a while ago before I got it. The guy was selling for $1,000. Then it went down to $850, $800. Finally down to $650, and I wasn't sure I was going to keep it, so I did the whole Google Lens thing on my computer phone, and it brings me right to Reverb, and I was shocked. A guitar in that condition, identical to that guitar, there's one there now in Canadian funds, $1,100, not including shipping. There's some there that are mint. They want $1,400-$1,500, and there's one that's banged up a little tiny bit more than that one. They want $1,100 for it. 13 for that one. And you're going to get 600 here for it. So I never understood that logic. People messaging me, put a guitar up for $800, like, hey man, I can get this guitar for this price. But yet when they put a classic vibe Squire up, they want twice as much for it, or they at least want more than what they paid for it. A classic vibe comes out of the guitar shop here in St. John's now. I'm gonna go with about 620 bucks, 630 bucks, taxes in. For my American friends, I apologize. Don't shit yourselves. That's American fund, or sorry, Canadian funds. Our dollar's not as strong as yours. Might be in a couple of weeks when we become a part of America. Facebook told me that was going to happen, so it's got to be real. But anyway, guys are selling them for $750. They didn't do anything to them. It's not like they said, "Hey, I hauled all the wiring out. I did this. I did that. I put like a kick-ass set of this kind of pickups in there. You know, blah blah blah." They just put a shitty old case with it, and now they want 750 to 800 bucks for a classic vibe. That's lost on me. I don't understand that logic for pricing at all. Taking a guitar like you bought in 2010 for $699 and expecting you're going to get $1,100 for it now, which happened to me as well. When I was trying to get rid of the yellow Strat that I had, a guy messaged me with a Jazzmaster. It was a 2010 Mexican. My Strat was 2021, $1,299 new. The Jazzmaster was $699 new. Okay? 15 years ago. And he wanted me to throw $300 in the deal for the Jazzmaster with the Strat. So I was like, "You want 1,100 bucks for your, you know," and it's still a brand new Player Series Jazzmaster is going for $1,159. So he wanted it $50 less than a brand new one. So I did not go with that deal, obviously. I was polite about it and said no thank you. But yeah, if you're going to sell something or buy something, but look it up on Reverb. Go see what other people are selling theirs from and then decide if you're in that ballpark and then sell it for that, right? That would be my theory on it. Also, guys, with the whole, is this still available? I know this one's cliche. We all talk about it. And then there's crickets. That drives me crazy too. Can I make a reservation? A reservation for what? Are you eating supper at my house? You want to come and play the guitar? That's fine, but you got to realize something, man. My living room is not Long McQuaid or Guitar Center. You can't come in for 45 minutes and play Sweet Child of Mine and Crazy Train and Sweet Caroline. That's not going to happen. You can come in, try the guitar out, and make a decision. Don't walk away and then 2 months later go, "Hey, would you take $300 less than your asking price," when I've already sold the guitar for what I wanted it for 2 months ago. That kind of drives me crazy. If you see somebody's reduced something, then don't go back and ask them if they can reduce it even more, because that's not great. Okay? That's kind of nuts, in my opinion. And lowballers. So you got a guitar that you're selling, and this happened to me as well. I wanted 600 bucks for a guitar. A guy came back and said, "Would you take 350?" No. Or my ultimate favorite was, I was selling one. It wasn't a high end guitar. I was selling 400 bucks. A guy messaged me and goes, "Would you take $180 right now?" And I responded with, "As opposed to getting my whatever tomorrow." You know, but it doesn't have to be this hard when you're dealing with the marketplace, right? Common sense. You either message a person, say, "Hey, would you take $100 less?" That's reasonable in some cases, or I'm very interested in it. I would like to swing by and play it. I bought a pedal off a guy. He wouldn't sell it to me till I went in and played. Told me to bring my guitar, my main guitar that I plan to use, and had an amp. I asked me what kind of amp I had. This guy had gear like you wouldn't believe, right? Bought an amp off a guy. Traded an amp off a guy. I went in his house. We plugged both amps in. We sat down and played, and we did the trade. Like, it was just easy. Right? I wasn't there very long. I don't think I was there 10 minutes. It's like, okay, this is perfect. This is awesome, right? I didn't, "Yeah, I'm going to message you in 3 months." You know if you want something or not, and there's nothing wrong with saying when you're leaving somewhere, "Yeah, you know what? Can you do better on the price?" Or, "Yeah, it's not what I thought it was going to be." Because sometimes you might say to yourself, like me, "I want a Strat. I want a Strat." And I'm probably going to want another Strat in a couple months. And then I'm going to hate it. But you know, if you go in and play it and you're not in love with it, you're not feeling it, you can say to somebody. I've said that about guitars when people have offered me trades. Like, I'm going to be honest, I'm not fussy about the headstock. It might seem petty, but I don't like G&Ls. I don't like certain guitar shapes. I don't really want to have a guitar that does this or that or whatever. I don't want a guitar that weighs 300 pounds. It's okay to say those things. It's better to be honest and, yeah, I'll think about it, because then it happens to me, and I'm sure it happens to other people. You get that lulled into that false sense of hope that they're going to do it, they're going to do it, they're going to buy it, or they're going to trade, I'm going to get this, I'm going to do that, and it doesn't happen, right? And if you sell something for the love of baby Jesus, take it down or put sold on it. Fuck. How many times have you reached out and said, hey man, if this is still available, I'd love to take it off your hands. Oh, I sold that a month ago. And if somebody reaches out to you, answer them. There's nothing worse than saying, hey, um, I'd be interested. Are you interested in this? Or would you take this amount? Or I would like to buy this. And then you see that they read it and then they don't respond ever. If 10 minutes later it comes up that it's sold, I'm like, okay, he was working out a deal when I was talking to him and forgot about me. I'm fine with that, because I know I'm old enough to realize he just sold it 5 minutes after I messaged him. So that's pretty cool too. But anyway, guys, that's it for me for this one. I'm sure everybody goes through the same fucking thing with Marketplace. And again, Searle Drover, Facebook. Set up your guitar, clean it up, and does an awesome job. Searle is a great player, and he's a whiz with Floyd Roses and getting those set up perfect. He is like amazing at it. Like, if you've ever played one of Searle's guitars, which you probably won't because you don't know him and he doesn't invite you into his home. I have that advantage sometimes that I'm in his home and I get to play his guitars. He does a great job, phenomenal job. His Floyd Rose, all of his guitars are equipped. He's actually got like an actual gem, which is amazing, with all the bells and whistles that Steve Vai would have. And like, you can look at it across the room and think about what you want to play on it. The guitar is that fucking smooth. It plays it for you while you're sitting in a chair, and it's over across the room. I'm serious. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video. If you made it this far,